Let's try another example that's a little bit more difficult of simplifying a difference quotient. So this is a difference quotient, but what we have here is called a rational equation because it has fractions and the x in the denominator. So the beginning is the same. We start with f of x plus h. So what does that look like? It says we take the equation 5x minus 6, we take out the x and replace it with x plus h. So that's my f of x plus h. Now we need to subtract the function f of x. Well, the function f of x is just 5 over x minus 6. And then we have to remember that this whole thing is over h. So this is how we start. You absolutely must be able to at least get started. Now, the second step is to see that when you look at this, we have a big red fraction with 3 little fractions in it. Is this a fraction? Yes, think of it as h over 1. Okay, so look at your 3 little fractions and ask yourself, what is the common denominator of all 3 of these? Well, the common denominator of all 3 of these is just multiply the denominator of all of them. So we're going to multiply all of the denominators together times 1 for the denominator of h, and this is our common denominator. How do we use that common denominator to help us simplify this kind of fraction of fraction ugly mess? So what we're going to do is we're going to take this numerator and we're going to multiply the numerator and the denominator of the big fraction by that common denominator, x plus h minus 6 times x minus 6. And if we do it to the top of the big red fraction, we have to do it to the bottom of the big red fraction. Now, whenever we do this kind of a thing, what I always say is do not mess with the denominator. It'll take care of itself. Where you need to be looking is the numerator. So now that we've done this, notice we've got 2 terms in this top of the big fraction. So we need to distribute that common denominator to the top of both of these little fractions. So this is going to get kind of ugly for a second. So we've got 5 over x plus h minus 6, and we have distributed to it that x plus h minus 6 times x minus 6 common denominator, right? That is the common denominator we distributed to it. And then we have the green 5 over x minus 6, and we have distributed to it the orange common denominator, x plus h minus 6 times x minus 6. And then don't forget this whole thing, that's the top of a big fraction where the bottom is h times again that common denominator, x plus h minus 6 times x minus 6. There we go. Okay, why did we do this? Well, look at just this blue bit. What do you see is going to happen in this blue bit? Yeah, you're going to get some canceling. So the x plus h minus 6 is going to cancel because they will divide out. And in the green bit, it's the x minus 6 that will cancel. Now in the bottom here, we won't have anything cancel because there's no really bottoms to cancel things out. But where does that leave us? Where do we end up going here? Okay, this is a little bit of a mess. So let's see kind of where this all goes to as we come up this way. What do we have left here? We have a 5 times an x plus x minus 6. And then we have minus 5, and this one is times x plus h minus 6. And then we have the whole thing over h times x plus h minus 6 times x minus 6. Okay, now there's always a step that once we kind of get the first simplify done, we distribute. So we're going to distribute this blue 5 to give us 5x minus 30, and we're going to distribute the green 5 to all 3 of these, and that'll give us minus 5x minus 5h plus 30, because negative times a negative is positive, and the whole thing is still over that really gross looking denominator, which we are never going to mess with. We are always just copying. Okay, what does that leave us with? Remember, everything that doesn't have an h in it should go away in the numerators. So look, what's 5x minus 5x? That's 0. What's negative 30 plus 30? That's 0. What's the only thing I have left? Negative 5h on the top. And then I have h times x plus h minus 6 times x minus 6 left on the bottom. Remember, our goal was to get rid of that denominator h. Well, look, up here in the top, we have a negative 5 times an h, so this is a multiply, and it cancels the h that is divided on the bottom. So our final answer for a simplified difference quotient is negative 5 over x plus h minus 6 times x minus 6. So there's still an h in the denominator, but because it's added, it's allowed to stay.